I do this in my creative writing class. I say that when you're at the point that you want to share your work with other people and get feedback on it, it should be at a stage where you know there are still problems with it, but you're not sure how to fix them. Okay, does that make sense?
For every action, there's a reaction. I used to carry handguns. I used them with this hand right here. I hurt a lot of people with this right hand. I stabbed people. I robbed people. I stole. I helped people. With this hand, you could use it for good or you could use it for bad. Now me, as the man I am today, every time I get tempted of doing something bad, I see this tattoo and it reminds me, pay attention to what you do with your hands, man. It could make you or it could break you, brother. But when you do something good with this hand, it comes back threefold. Use that in your life as a tool and your life will work out fine, brother.
Why is it that we lock someone up for so many years and then we say, okay, you've done your time, now come out. We expect you to rehabilitate. We expect you to be good citizens and to contribute in every way. But we don't give them the resources to do so.
I'm trying to get off parole. I'm trying to get sober. I'm trying to find work. You know what I mean? And this stuff's stressful, bro, because every one of them is a journey. It's a process.
Well, every time I was released from jail, I was doomed to fail.
As soon as I say my first charge, I never get the job.
I'm 36 now, but I've been in and out of judicial system since I was 12.
Everybody deserves a chance.
So why is it that they come home and we don't give them those opportunities? We take them away time and again.
Sometimes it doesn't feel like home. Sometimes it's easier to live in jail or prison than it is in the free world.
I didn't know I was gonna be kicked out like this quick.
Their basic needs are not being met.
Like dealing with my anxiety and PTSD attacks.
We can be clean, but we can't do this without each other.
A lot of us have been dealt a hard life, but I guarantee you that education and learning about ourselves and placing ourselves in the center of our education will heal.
I knew I wanted help, but at the time I didn't know what help looked like.
Reentry is hard because we're reentering into a society that pushed us away in the beginning.
They've been incarcerated. That's all they've been thinking about, ways to turn their lives around.
I want to start off as a dental assistant and then maybe become like a dentist one day.
Become a drug and alcohol counselor and to be able to work with youth.
I'd like to be able to help other people who are suffering in that same way.
It's scary because I don't know if I'm smart enough to do that.
We've been in jail, we've been on drugs, our past does not define us. And now I could say like, I'm in compliance at drug court, I got a job.
First, take care of yourself, get yourself right before you start getting the world right. It's just like I haven't did that yet, you know what I mean?
We're re-entering into something that might not want us. So we're gonna have to want it more.
Good evening, graduates, families, friends, faculty, and staff. We want you to know that this is truly a day of celebration of you and your achievements.
Luis Jimenez.
Sometimes I still look back and I'm like, is this real? Am I here? Man, I never thought I was gonna go to college, let alone graduate from high school. My name is Luis Jimenez. I'm a Palomar College graduate, transitions program graduate, and I am still deciding on whether to transfer to UCLA or UC Berkeley.
Give us a speech, you guys. What are you guys gonna do, man?
For me, further my political education so that I can educate others on their political education.
I love this program. This program changed my whole outlook on everything. I got tired of being incarcerated and tired of playing that manipulation game with myself, you know, and so, yeah, it took a lot out of me.
Mom got her, I got her.
You know, and now I can give back what was so freely given to me. And that's why I'm looking up to him. You know, this guy's my idol right here. You know, if he can do it, I can do it. We're the band of misfits that aren't misfits anymore. We just, you know, we're having our place. That's it.
No, I'm sticking with I'm still a misfit. I'm
Are you?
educated now.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Exactly. I would not change my past for the life of me. It makes me exactly who I am today, and it's made my kids who they are. So.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
We have new details about the man who was arrested while carrying a loaded pistol at Palomar College this morning.
Deputies had their helmets on and their rifles strapped to their chests as they searched the campus for a gunman. A sergeant said the man, who's in his early 20s, had given his own description and even led them right to him. They say he had a handgun as promised, so they took him into custody before he had a chance to unload a loaded gun.
This place saw me strive as a scholar, but also like saw my downfall as a person. Man, it's crazy being here and walking this, tracing back this trajectory, man, when I was here. I was heartbroken, right? And I had reached out for help, reached out to all my professors, reached out to the counseling department. I went to the local hospital 3 times. And everybody just kind of looked at me like, what do you want us to do, right? I knew I wanted help. But at the time, I didn't know what help looked like. I wasn't brave enough to take my own life. So why not have somebody else take it, right? I was really determined to go on a shootout with the officers. And so I was like this, and I took out the gun, and I was like, as soon as they come up, if I shoot at one of the buildings or, you know, just straight, they're gonna come down raining on me with bullets, right? I held it up to my mouth, I held it up to my head, right? But I never had the courage to pull the trigger. The 911 operator was like, okay, let's talk this through, right? After that, they got my mother-in-law on the phone, and here she's running through all these scenarios. That even though I had made a mistake, that it would be better for me to deal with the consequences of the mistake, right, and do my time. And 5-6 years from that time, I would still be present in the life of my oldest son, right? That just put a stop to things. 2 seconds later, you have a whole SWAT team on the right side just pop out of nowhere, and then just officers like start like swarming around me like sharks, man. And as crazy as it sounds, I'm glad that things happened the way that they did. Man, sometimes we need those life lessons to really get us back on the path that we were meant to take.
Incarceration in the United States is a huge deal. 2.3 million people living in prison. 2 million children have a parent in prison. The United States is 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's prison population.
We govern from a politic of fear. This is how you write 45,000 laws, policies, and sanctions. You write that from a place of trying to ensure that you're safe from them. But in doing that, we've created the conditions that produce more violence and more instability than we had we not. Any criminologist worth their salt will tell you that unemployment, limited access to substance abuse treatment and social service support, and a negative connection with family members or frayed family ties produce criminality. Any criminologist worth their salt will tell you that, and we've engineered that through our law and policy. About 25% of all prison admissions each year are because of something called parole violations, because you can be rearrested if you miss an appointment with your parole officer. You can be rearrested if the person who you were told to be a roommate with by your probation or parole officer, because this is the only place where you can stay, if that person has an open bottle of liquor, if that person has marijuana, if that person has a weapon. You can be arrested for their actions because you're not supposed to associate with people like them. And this can happen to you for years after you've gotten out of prison.
We give people a life sentence, basically. Sorry, it just pisses me off. But basically, that's what happens. When you're a kid and you go down this path, you can't get out. And when you get out of prison and you try to get a job, you don't get that either. So what do we expect them to do? Of course they're going to recommit. It's ridiculous.
Nowadays, I'm walking on eggshells. You know, I'm a former 3-striker that got a strike stricken. So the judge told me any violent felony, automatically 50 to life. It ain't 25 to life, because you already had that chance. It's 50 to life. You know, in prison, when you get in a conflict, it stays on you, bro, because you don't got no, outlet, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's just it'll mess you up all day, even the next morning, too. And, you know, I never want to go back, bro. Like I said, I think I'd rather die than go back, to be honest. I don't want to be nobody. I don't want to be the hardest dude on the block. That ain't me no more. I'm trying to change the cop's perspective. Oh, this guy's a criminal and he's always going to be a criminal. No, I mean, we're not all the same.
I think that the most important thing somebody needs when leaving prison, one, is a job with a livable wage. Housing, counseling is definitely needed. Education. There's an excitement, and we have these hopes and aspirations that we're gonna do it this time. We're gonna make it.
My plan is to go into social work or working with at-risk youth.
Definitely want to educate others.
I would like to become a drug and alcohol counselor.
I would like very much to be an addiction therapist.
Try to get the job, you're showing up, you're staying clean, you're staying sober, you're being responsible, and you do everything right. And then somebody just feels like they cut you at the legs because of your past.
It makes it almost impossible to have any kind of job that's making more than minimum wage.
Housing is not even a speed bump, it's a wall.
On top of no credit history with an extensive criminal record, it's almost impossible to get a room or an apartment by myself.
People with criminal records are made to feel the material reality that they do not belong. We tell them every day that you're not a part of us. You're not a part of our political community. You're something else altogether.
Those were some painful moments, you know? I felt like I had no hope of not repeating the patterns at that point.
You know, you're trying your best and that door gets shut in your face.
I deal with a lot of my history today.
That stigma is very debilitating, personally, professionally, socially.
In a way, it feels like you have a disease.
I'm so much more than just someone who's been to jail.
You know, I'm just so tired of being in a temporary setting, you know, from one cell to another cell, from one house to another house, from one prison to another prison. And I'm tired of like these changes, bro. And I can't wait till I get to the finish line where it's just a permanent spot, bro, where I could actually just lay down and just call home. You know what I mean? A happy home. And, you know, I haven't had that. I never had it.
Sometimes it doesn't feel like home, right? And I actually hear that a lot when I run my groups for formerly incarcerated folks. Like, where's home? And there's no answer to where's home. It takes a long time for us to establish a place that feels like home. Sometimes, for some of them, and I've seen this happen quite often, it's easier to live in jail or prison than it is in the free world.
So we're gonna do it. So for those of you that have aches and pains, I want you to think about this and just let that go. I guarantee it'll flow away. If you have a headache, this is a really good first point. If you have headaches, you do this for a few minutes.
A lot of things is like, this doesn't feel right, it, I'm done, right? But stepping back, and sorry to drop the F-bomb, but I feel like that's what it is, right? That frustration that you get when you're doing an assignment, you're trying to do a paper, how am I gonna fill 5 pages? All the things and all the relationships you've had with school, and some of you might have had really bad relationships with school. School brings a lot of trauma. School did not used to bring love and support. But now you're in a space where school is about love and family, and we're here for you. So when you feel like you have a case of the f***ings, just remember to reach out to someone. And if I don't pick up, try Ian, or Luis, or Christy.
Mama Christy.
Mama Christy. We're here for you. This is us.
One of the best highs you could ever experience is I got out of prison like a month ago. It feels really good.
For me, it's challenging participating in class. I feel kind of obligated to speak up and participate during the classes. I don't necessarily like it, but I kind of got to force myself.
Thank you. So I think it's really important just to kind of, you know, really pay attention to what everybody's going through, because sometimes we feel like we're the only ones that are struggling with something, you know? And, you know, as for you, Nick, right, Nick? Yeah. Like, these are some of, like, the barriers that our students face, right? So maybe, like, you can keep that in mind, like, whenever you're, you know, taking classes, just know that you're not the only one that's struggling.
She's got the best name. I said Sina Tulu Tulu Imoana. That's her name. Isn't that beautiful?
Great job. I'm really gonna clap for Nora.
The Transitions program at Palomar College is designed to help formerly incarcerated people go to school. It's an 8-week intensive program where we help students enroll in Palomar, we help them with their financial aid, we get them a laptop. If they need Wi-Fi, we get them a hotspot. They begin the program, which is 2 classes they take all together. One looks at cycles of mass incarceration, and then the other class helps them with college success and to look at things like new identities. They have gone from being justice involved to becoming college students and scholars.
I want to make my mom happy. I want to have my doctorate by the time my mom passes. Man, I'm older. I'm 48. I'm an OG, and so my mom's in her 80s. So my goal is to have my doctoral before she passes, God willing. And then, you know, I want to just let her know that her son, before she passes, her son's a doctor. You know, we go from jail to Yale, from, you know, from park bench to Park Place, you know, and that's just the way it is, you know. It's very simple. And so I'm excited. I'm on fire. I don't know about you guys, but I'm on fire for it. Man, the first week I'm in a bag. I'm just like, you know, freaking out. You know, I'm like, God dang, you know. But then I just breathe, and then I just don't look at the whole picture, get overwhelmed. But this is what I'm excited for too, is being able to give back, you know, to people. You know, like the newer guys that are coming in.
So one thing I'm afraid about is about being in college is transferring. I think like once you have your community and like you go into a new space, that feeling arises again.
Well, it's my first time being in a setting like this too, and from going from like 15 years of being on a level 4 in a box to just all this, it's a lot of to take in.
So for students who have had certain experiences in childhood where schooling contributes to trauma, I feel like this program completely flips that script so that students now engage in scholarship in exciting new ways, that values where they're coming from, that looks at their experiences and doesn't say, oh, you were bad, right? You did some criminal things, you were bad. It says, you have all this experience, you have this rich history. Let's look how we can shape that into a new identity and a new experience for you and a new life. That's why this program is so well supported on campus.
This is an intro to justice studies. This really is a class that is designed to talk about our justice system or the justice systems that we have.
The transitions program was sparked out of fear. I got out of prison in April of 07, right? My niece said, check out college. And I went and I signed up, but I felt so out of place. I mean, I literally had a biological response where I was shaking when I was on campus. I never felt that in my neighborhood. I never felt that in prison.
So we're only going to scratch the surface in this class. And because we are formerly incarcerated, a lot of things in this class we'll be talking about the justice system. Because I truly believe that the one way to combat a system is from the inside out. A lot of us already know the system from the inside. Now we have to pick it apart, dissect it.
To me, Palomar was and is by far a community college that gave its all. When I presented the transitions program to Palomar, they saw the need, they saw why it would be viable. They didn't look at it as an expensive program, and they just put it into work. And to me, that response right there is the perfect response, because they see a population that needs support, and they ran with it. And it's been a beautiful thing since. I think that the college environment for formerly incarcerated individuals builds a self-esteem that we never really had. It builds a self-confidence, a self-worth, and a value. A lot of us are very smart. We've just never been told we were smart. A lot of us are capable. We've just never been shown how to be our best, right? And so that college environment does produce this new sense of self.
I tell folks, we know how to run streets. We know how to run the game. If we use that same energy in the classroom, you're going to be successful here.
Super grateful, man, that I'm not strung out on the street with a needle on my arm or wasting my life in prison anymore. Kind of nervous, but I'm excited for trying to make this second chapter of my life count.
How I feel right now, I'm 60 years old. It's never too late to start over.
That's right. Even if the individual does not continue with school, they can be successful in life because I built this self-esteem, I built this way to communicate that gets me a job, that helps me keep a job, that helps me communicate with my family or my kids. And that in itself is success. I've seen this for 14 years and it just keeps me going every single day.
I got offered a job position at the campus. I came today and, I applied. I went over the forms. I signed them. We printed them out, turned them in. I got down to the last form where it was signed about the criminal background check. You know what I mean? What were your charges? And, my charges, I got two different cases, but yeah, they were violent and serious, but yeah, they were like 15 to 20 years ago. You know, I'm turning 40, man, and I'm not that same kid that I used to be. You know, I could tell that it was gonna be a little issue because every job that I applied at, it all was an issue, and it all went down the same way, where, you know, I mean, a week or two go by and you'll get some letter in the mail or some email saying that, you know, unfortunately, due to your criminal background check, you know, we can't have you working around these areas, environments. And, you know, I applied at certain spots in my past, and I had a PC-211, which is a strong robbery, but, you know, that keeps us from working around a lot of people, environments with cash registers and stuff like that, settings. So I understand, but, you know what I mean? Then again, you know, I think I deserve a second chance, you know, to redeem myself, you know what I mean? I asked for forgiveness, man, you know what I mean? And if you can't forgive me for what I did, you know, 15, 20 years ago, man, then, I mean, what am I supposed to do?
I've lied on my job applications.
They view it to 5 years in the past and see your criminal history.
They say don't lie, but you're screwed either way.
That box that says if you've been formerly incarcerated, that hurts, you know, that's where we get stuck.
Any new name they threw at me, I passed it. As soon as I say my first charge, they're just like, I never get the job. Never.
It just doesn't make sense because then you go back to prison for 30 days, come out, and then you're faced with the exact same problem.
It just turns us to going back to what we knew.
The struggles Richie has with getting employment has been heartbreaking, honestly, because everything relies on it. People who've been incarcerated and have a record and have that gap in employment also have an exceedingly difficult time finding jobs and finding work.
I think being formerly incarcerated is a huge benefit to our society. We're the first to want to help out another individual. We're the first who will be loyal to your company or your, you know, any job you give me. We'll be loyal to you. Give me an opportunity and I will run with it.
You look at Richie, you see his tattoos, and that's what you see. But when you look beyond those tattoos and you see Richie for Richie, you're like, well, of course I'm gonna give this guy a job. He's amazing. But it's just getting past that initial gut reaction of who you think this person is.
Again? One more time. Close your mouth. Ready? 1, 2, and... From the age of 6 months until I was like about 7, I lived with my godparents. They were very abusive, physically, emotionally. When I came to the States, I was about 10 years old, right? So here I am with my mother, her boyfriend. When I arrived, things were great in terms of like, you know, I had a house, food on the table. But as time went on, I started seeing that, you know, my stepfather had an alcohol problem. And also he had a meth problem. You know, and when I tell my story, I don't portray myself to be like some hardcore cholo or gangster, you know? I'm just a person that, you know, has formed part of this community, has made some good and bad choices and been through some things and been around the block here and there.
Growing up, in my household, there was a lot of domestic violence. There was a lot of arguments. There was a lot of fights. I never had no, like, go spend the night at your friend's house, go to the mall. You know, I was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and I was doing man jobs at that age. I mean, I grew up quick. All together, through juvenile home to where I am today, I gave my neighborhood 20 plus years of my life. And I'll never get that back. I'm almost 40 years old. I deserve to settle down and have a family and have some kids and enjoy life too.
Practically every single male in my family has been to jail or prison. Every single one of them practically had a drug problem, an alcohol problem. I'm a huge proponent of emotional intelligence. I teach it in every single one of my classes. I've been working on it for over 10 years. And when I teach emotional intelligence, students begin to understand how to communicate, how to manage emotions, how to understand the biological responses in their body. Most of us were gang members, active gang members. I mean, that's just the way it is. If you didn't do it, then something was wrong with you in my life, right? My prison experience is intergenerational. My drug use is intergenerational. My alcoholism is intergenerational. My violence is intergenerational. And to me, there's nothing more gangster than the motherfucker who's willing to stop, willing to change the intergenerational trauma.
My most important role is being a parent, right? And so, like, when my kids are around, it's all good, right? But when they leave, or like, you know, when their mom takes them, whatever, like, I have this time of like, you know, what do I do, right? And these are the times where like, these like really intense desires of relapsing, right? Of, you know, maybe if I just, you know, if I do a little bit of coke, right, that would like lift up my mood and, you know, give me the energy that I need in order to finish whatever assignment I need to finish, right? I've sat down with them and told them like, hey, you know, I made some bad choices. Don't do this, don't drink or do drugs when you grow up, because like it creates a lot more challenges for you.
She asked me, you know, like where I was, and I told her where I was, you know, and what I did, and the mistakes I did, the price I had to pay. Because I don't want her doing that either. You know what I mean? I don't want her to think, oh, just because her mom or dad like lived that lifestyle, that doesn't make it all right for her to do that too.
All right, good morning. We're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, welcome, everyone. At the end of every summer, we have a completion ceremony in celebration. They walk across the stage, they get a certificate for completing the program. And for students, this is a huge point of pride because many of them have not walked across the stage. And this really signifies the beginning of their new lives as scholars.
So I'm very happy to be with you here today, mainly because of what this event represents. This moment represents the hard work and investment you've made in yourself over the past 8 weeks.
Regardless of what career you go into, if it's STEM fields, if it's to become a professor, to become anything in this world, you're gonna come in with the lens of transitions, a lens that most people don't have.
Richie was nominated as the speaker this year. From day one, Richie has just been so excited about doing the program. Even though things come up, life, you know? But he just kept on going. Why are you putting more food in your face?
It's like water.
Okay, so without any further ado, I want to introduce Richie, who's been an amazing addition to the Transitions family. Come on down, Richie.
All right, here we go. I didn't know how to start this or never had an opportunity to take a role in representing a class. All I know is the similarities I have with each and every one of you. I learned from you, and I know you can learn from me. To be alive and escape death several times gives me the answer to why I'm still here and not in the ground. And I am a living transition. I went from a boy to a man, a prisoner to a free person, from being lost to being found, from pain to love, committing violence to giving a hand, from carrying a gun in my backpack to carrying a laptop in my backpack, knives, bats, rocks, to pen, paper, and books. In my past, I got an education, but it was education on street smarts. I got my bachelor's in living in criminology. I got my associates in dope fiend psychology. I was passing and failing life's test. And every time I got an F in failing, I was rewarded a semester or two in Cal State CDC Department of Corrections. I was supposed to be the class of 2000, so I thought, but only to become a statistic in the school to prison pipeline. Where in 2000, instead of graduating, I was graduating my first term in R.J. Donovan Correctional Facility in San Diego. I made a choice. My heart felt the right to fight for my education. I could never repay teachers, doctors, and professors back. But I promise you all that I will pass down what you passed down to me. Hola. I would also like to thank my classmates. Thank you for showing me what unconditional love and human kindness and sacrifice is. Thank you, everybody, and God bless you all. Oh, man. Thank you.
You are amazing.
Thank you, Dr. Man, I felt good.
Housing is one of the biggest challenges for formerly incarcerated people because they don't have the history. You know, by virtue of being incarcerated, it wipes out everything. It wipes out the credit, the employment. You take all of that away, and you have someone who has a record and it might be on parole, and that just makes it almost impossible.
We spent, I would say, almost $500 in application fees just associated with getting denied.
Obviously, they'll have to look at my history and see if I've been incarcerated. And, you know, those kind of don't go over well with the landlord.
The housing and the place that we were stuck at was basically the slums. And so we had a lot of gang activity, a lot of problems, a lot of drug sales within the neighborhood that I was surrounded by.
I didn't know I was gonna be kicked out like this quick. I thought I had another month left, but I remember I did 4 months at another program before this one, and it's supposed to go 3 and 3. And it's like nothing's ever like permanent, nothing's ever stable, and it's just, you know, I can't catch a break. Like when I go try to apply at apartments and stuff like that, they want proof of like income, credit cards. They need all this stuff in order to require me to get, you know, approved, and I can't. If you don't got a good foundation, man, like, I mean, your chances of surviving out here are slim. That's why a lot of people do go back, though. It's like, because it does get, you know, a little too much, especially for people like a lot of people right here are lifers and stuff like that. And, you know, we get scared out here. You know, it intimidates you. You know what I mean? And it kind of like, sometimes you do want to go run away and go segregate yourself from society. You know what I mean? Because it gets crazy out here. You know, you do feel like you get pushed out. And, you know what I mean? And just, you know, a lot of people don't care. You know what I mean? And I don't know, it's just, I can't even take care of myself. So I'm trying to take care of a wife, a kid, and do my pro shit on top of everything else. And just like, it's too much sometimes. You know what I mean? I don't even know how it is to sleep with a family, because I haven't done that yet. know what I mean? I'm a grown man, and I can't even sleep with, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, come on, man. I feel like a 16-year-old kid that has a curfew when the street lights come on. I'm tired of being in these temporary programs and temporary settings, and I just want a place of my own. I didn't think freedom was gonna be this complicated, and it is. I don't know. It's just hard out here.
I don't know that we've officially celebrated your amazing accomplishments, Luis, of being accepted to frickin' UCLA, which is a top school in the world. So congratulations to Luis.
In about 2 years, we're gonna have we're gonna be celebrating Steven, UCLA, UCSD.
No, he wants to go to Berkeley.
UC Berkeley, damn, even Harvard. What's up, Steven?
Hey, what's up, fool? You need to stop that. I'm blushing, dog. I'm turning beet red like a tomato. Hey, fool, you need to stop that. Woo!
We're manifesting it right now. It's bound to happen.
Bro, manifest away, bro. Let's stir the pot a little bit more, bro.
The Friday check-in is really a time for students just to have someone that they can bounce ideas off, they can share accomplishments with, and exciting news. So it really has become a family, just a time for family to get together and catch up and have a laugh a lot of times.
But just to go around, what is everybody's favorite food? Unmute yourself and tell me.
I like sushi. Sushi's my favorite. Asian food. I just like Asian food.
Hi, I like breakfast for lunch, breakfast for breakfast, breakfast for dinner, breakfast for midnight snack. I like breakfast. I like eggs and toast. I like bacon. I like sausage. I like French toast. I like pancakes. I like cereals of all kinds. All the cereals that I could never afford when I was a kid that my parents couldn't afford, that wouldn't buy for me. They're like, no, that's just a box of sugar. And like, yeah, it is. Oh my gosh. But I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and these tricks aren't for kids. So I'm just like a mother hen that wishes he had kids, so I could serve them all breakfast and have them around the table with orange juice.
You're gonna be an amazing father.
Yeah, he's a really good cook. Super good.
Oh, you're his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, why didn't I put that together?
So Bree, why don't you go and just say a little bit about yourself and where you are in your education path.
I am currently going to Palomar for my AA in social work and drug and alcohol counseling. So I've just been rebuilding and going back to school, doing really well right now. Very excited. I just checked my grades. I'm getting A's. This is the first time I have ever gotten all A's.
What else do you like to do to take care of yourself, and what do you hope to achieve in this program?
I'm feeling real positive, and me staying focused on this path, I'm starting to see the fruits of my labor. So I'm feeling real good, and coming home and trying to live a normal life in the community, that's drug-free, that's full of sobriety, and it finds a means for me to take care of myself without breaking the law,
The tightness of the community has become the key to its success, I really think.
There ain't no relapse in here. Oh man, you got like 50 people that are gonna go over there and catch you slipping, man.
That's good though. That's good. I appreciate that. I know that's what we'll be coming to, because I know this classroom is so passionate, dog, and caring and loving it.
So Luis's position in the community, him sharing so much, has enabled other students to share as well. He's exactly what we want students to be able to do. And so for them to see, whoa, even Luis is struggling with sobriety, that's deep. That really validates what I'm going through.
But I've been struggling these last couple of days with kind of sobriety. I've been having a lot of cravings, and I've been tempted to just relapse.
I want to honor that you shared that, because you are going through a transition, a big life-changing transition. Honor those things that are going on with you, Luis. It's rough.
So I met with the counselor this morning, right? And she was just like, you'll be at UCLA for 5 quarters. That sounds so small, right? But the amount of pressure that like I'm under this summer, it's insane. Oh, they're here. Hey, how are you? My PTSD's all over the place. What's up, brother? How you doing? Good. I'm not saying goodbye. Because I'm coming back, bro. I'm never leaving my community. Once upon a time, I had the idea of like, man, when I make it, I'm getting the out of Escondido, man. Hell no. I'm staying there, man. That's where my community and my family is, man. All those experiences, good and bad, all those people that I met, right? They've contributed to who I have become today. Haha, it looks really nice. ¿Se bonito, ah?
I love the floor. I like it.
Ya no me voy a regresar. I'm not going back. No, stay here. I know.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
This is amazing.
Hey, bro. Thank you. Bye, ma.
Ok, hijo, felicidades.
Thank you.
No, tenías lo último. Ánimo.
Okay.
Have fun nesting, getting comfortable in your new spot.
Thank you. Drive safe, you guys.
We'll let you know when we get home.
Okay.
Bye, love you.
Say bye, Hershey.
Bye, Hershey.
No, come on. Where are you going? Come on. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You know you're in a different place, right? Like, this is not home, but yes, it is.
You know, it's interesting because the fear and the bias against our transition students, I think when you talk to people in theory, they'll say, oh, I love it, your program's amazing. But then when you look at some of the restrictions that are in place, you know, the company doesn't allow X, Y, and Z. And I see it out there. I see help wanted signs all over the place, but not for our students. That's not right. Talk to me. You seem sad or tired or something.
Yeah, a little bit of both, just stressed out and tired, and I got like too much going on right now, and then, you know what I mean, it's just overwhelming sometimes. You know what I mean, I'm just trying to do everything I can to just get through it, I guess.
You are a very powerful and expressive person, and it's gonna work out. Like, I fully believe that the energy you put out is what you get back. You see that now.
Yeah.
When you were putting out violence, you were getting violence, right? Now you're putting out love and you're getting love back.
Every like path and outlet you go to, you got some kind of roadblock. And then, you know what I mean, it just, it kind of like brings back the feelings of last time I was out.
I know that this is triggering for you because I know that the last time not being, you know, just having the background check issues is the thing that caused, you know, like your turmoil in your head and you lashing out.
Yeah.
But I did get some good news today because I knew that I was going to see you today. And I'm feeling really positive. Elena in HR says she's waiting for you to get back to her on a form you need to complete.
Yeah. Well, I kind of like gave up. I put most of my charges, but you know what I mean, I did leave out like you know, that I stabbed someone and then I had a gun charge. All that's gonna do is just make it worse, you know what I mean? I'm a felon, you know what I mean? I'm a violent felon.
You're re-educating people every time you meet someone and you say hello and they take that first look at you and whatever they think, that's on them. That's their business, right?
Right.
Once anyone talks to you, they know what you're all about.
Yeah, hopefully it does work out, but you know what I mean? I also don't want to get like let down again too, you know what I mean? Because that's like trigger for me.
Hey, how we doing? Good to see you, brother.
Hey, likewise, bro.
What's been going on?
Oh, man, just hanging in there.
Well, I appreciate you meeting me outside. I heard back from HR.
Yeah.
You got the job.
All right.
You got it.
That's right.
Congratulations.
Hey, good stuff, man. It was a battle, man.
It was, but no, we're happy to have you.
Yeah. Man, I feel relieved. You know what I mean? It was a little struggle. People's lives depends on these types of situations to go through. Last time I was out, I got a little bad news like this, and I snapped on somebody, and that shows you like the disappointment, and that's all it takes sometimes. And it's good to see that, you know, getting out 15 years later, that, you know, there's some kind of change. You know, I appreciate everything that happened today, and yeah, I look forward to the future, man. Look forward to what's gonna, you know, progress from out of this, and yeah, I mean, it helped me, and then, I mean, hopefully I can help others too.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, man, come and join us in our event, man. Just culture hosted by Underground Scholars. What are you guys doing, man?
Underground Scholars?
Yeah, we'll trade, man.
What does that mean?
Oh, it's a program for formerly incarcerated and system impacted students here on campus, yeah. So we started off with Berkeley. This guy right here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's it.
This is following your story?
Yeah, there you go. How was school?
Good.
Yeah? How was the program?
Good.
Yeah?
I went to.
Did you get any homework done?
Yeah.
It's nice up here, said Buzz. It's my favorite tree, said Liz. Fly Guy and Fly Girl said, "What's up? What's up?" "Can I join you?" said a boy. "Sure," said Liz. Other transfer students that are already done with their program, from what I've heard, is the first quarter is always the roughest one. But obviously for me, it comes with additional challenges, you know? For me, wanting to drink, wanting to get high, and then one of my biggest downfalls is that I isolate. I just cut everybody off. So that's a bad habit that I've always had. I won't pick up phone calls, I'll just disappear, right? But because we have such a close community, they've been on me, how are you doing? Are you okay? But I just have this mindset right now that I don't want to bother anybody with whatever it is that I'm going through, right?
Luis had mentioned to me one day, he had said, man, I relapsed, and really bummed out. He thought I would judge it. My first response was okay, cool. Did you do your homework? The classroom produces high levels of stress and anxiety. And if the only way we respond to high levels of stress and anxiety is through drugs and alcohol, that's our go-to, the relapse is going to happen. And this is why it's so important for me to teach emotional intelligence. If you use every single relapse as an experience, as an education, what does it teach you? eventually you're gonna learn from it, right? And that's what I continue to tell him and countless other students that relapse. It's part of the process. Don't be hard on yourself.
Like, the reality is that you are the most beautiful woman with the most
That's
incredible
not true.
smile and the most radiant eyes, okay? And you put me in awe every time I see you.
Why?
Hey, who are you?
No one. Margaret.
And who do you love?
Nicholas.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm just checking. She was clean. She did not relapse. She was in recovery and she was doing really good for a long time. And I was so proud of her.
She was so goal-oriented. She was always so affirming of her beliefs and what she wanted in life. Her goals included Nicholas and the family that they wanted.
I wanted to have children with Margaret. I wanted to have a family, and I wanted to cook for them.
Yeah.
So I stopped cooking for like nearly a month.
Sometimes I'll just forget to eat for like a long period of time.
You realize that like the weight of it changes each day, and it's like the way it affects you changes too.
And this morning I was like, why was she placed in my life? And why for such a short period?
And when she came into my life, she completed me and she believed in me, and that faith moved the heavens.
It took me by surprise, but I knew that something was wrong. I found out the day after, and Dr. Nora called me. And so Dr. Nora was like, hey, can you come by my place to talk? And I was just like, something's wrong here, for her to tell me to go to her place. Between the time that I had gone to my meeting to the time that I arrived at Dr. Nora's house, like I knew that something was wrong, right? That somebody had passed away. I didn't know who. When I got there, Dr. Nora hugged me. That's when she broke down the news that, Margaret had passed away. And, it hit me. And it was just hard to it's just hard to sit there, right? And process that. She was barely starting her education. And she was dealing a lot with that imposter syndrome, right? Something that I'm dealing with right now. The question that has been coming to my mind often is like, how many more people are we gonna lose? As for me, like the best way to honor her, right? Is just to keep fighting like our own personal demons, right? Like facing our own personal struggles. And I really hope and I pray that like we don't lose any more people. Because it's just sad how, one day you're here and the next you're not.
To have one student pass away during the program was devastating. To have two is just, I can't make sense of it, to be honest.
Somebody like Deshaun, who was more reserved, who was more quiet. He was quiet in class, but he spoke very loudly in his papers. He had dreams.
I'm 36 now, but I've been in and out of judicial system since I was 12. I understand that no matter how good I think or how slick I think I'm gonna be, if I keep committing the same crimes or living the same lifestyle, I'm gonna end up in that same little box. So now, I'm trying to get out and use my mind and, be productive,
It's really hard, and it's hard on the community too. It speaks volumes to the vulnerability of the group. For some students, it becomes a driving force to even work harder, to try harder, to give back even more, and to be present in the lives of other people.
So you got a place. How do you feel?
Great, it finally happened. Never, this was my dream, you know what I mean, when I was sitting still, like, trying to manifest this and make it happen, and you know what I mean? I didn't know it was gonna happen this quick, but it did, and you know, it just took a lot of faith, a lot of positive energy, and meeting positive people like you, Dr. Noor, and you know what I mean? Good things happen to good people, and I mean, this is what it is, you know what I mean? It's right here in the flesh. Nora did go the extra mile, and then, you know, Dr. Nora vouched for me. She gets you a job position. She even vouched for the apartment where I'm staying at, so it goes from the littlest to the biggest. Man, I don't, there ain't no way I could ever pay her back. You know, one way is just keep going, you know what I mean? Where she just paved the way, and then I just keep walking that walk.
Check out. Do you happen to know how many pounds I have left for the month?
Let me check. You got 7.5.
Okay.
You need any hygiene or fresh produce or cosmetics or anything?
No, not produce, but can I have a hygiene pack?
Okay. Cena, can we get a hygiene pack, please? Sir.
Thank you.
Let me add this. Will that be it for today?
Yeah.
All right. I got you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Okay. A gift. This is what we picked up in Old Town for you.
Oh, that's so sweet of you.
It's like and then you gotta turn on the switch on the bottom,
so pretty.
and like you go like at nighttime when it.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, it's nice at night, like in the dark room.
Richie, that's so sweet of you.
Yeah, we got you one of those, and then we got you the card. I had a modified Godmother's Day.
Wow, this is so cool.
And then that's me, that's my mama, that's Jeanette, and then there's Chloe right there.
Aw, thank you. That's so sweet of you.
Yeah. Palomar like opened up their arms to me and their heart, and they like a lot of us, you know, a lot of people that are in my same situation that are there, and you know what I mean. I love it. You know what I mean, and when I step on that campus, I feel comfortable, and the stuff we were learning, like Dr. Shadad's class, you know, was about like when you get imposter syndrome, and that's like when you become. That's how I was feeling. Like everywhere I went was like, I don't belong here. This ain't for me. Maybe maybe I'm a little too much for these people, or you know what I mean, so on. At Palomar, I don't feel that way, bro. Like every time I go there, like people just see through my skin, through my background and everything, and they make me feel human.
You still hang out with Sophia on recess?
Yeah.
Yeah? It was so funny when I took her. Her friend came up to her, babe, and we look at the chart and we see what class. And then her friend's like, oh, you forgot about me. And Chloe looks at me and she's like, Mom. Go. I was like, oh. Okay, I'll go now. Yeah, she got her friends and that was it.
That's how it was though. Me, my mom though. My mom loved me too, but she loved me so much that like I didn't say it was embarrassing, but when you're that young, like you kind of want to be grown up. Like I had these nightmares and stuff like that. Like I dreamed having this, and then waking up in prison. I dreamed that like so many times. And I'd wake up and I'm in a cell and I'm like, damn, I dreamed it. It felt so real. I had the same dreams the other day and I was in the dark. I didn't even see my wife next to me, so I literally thought I was still in prison. And I was sitting there like just looking at the ceiling for like 10 minutes. And then I was like crying, like, damn, it was another dream. And then like I felt her breather, so I looked and then I was like, oh, it wasn't a dream. To be honest, like I woke up the next morning and I prayed, you know what I mean? Because I was just like, man, like I'm so grateful that it ain't a dream. I ain't gonna lie, that's like the happiest I've been, you know what I mean, is being with a wife and kid, you know what I mean? Because it's, I never had that before, so experience that type of love is way different for me. And that's my worst fear is like sacrificing and like losing it all. I can't pick up another crime, so it's kind of scary thinking about it. This is my third time. I go to college. Really?
I get it. That would be frustrating for anyone. Really.
And then I was just coming back from work, and then the second one was riding the bike, and then this is the third. And it's like,
I go to work. He goes to school. We do regular people stuff. Take my daughter out. He's been out a year, and she hasn't seen him get stopped like this once.
That's what like my worst fear right there. I was pulled over 4 times in 4 months. 4th time I got pulled over. He says, you know, it was the brake light. So he tried to make it to like 1 bulb out of the 3 that were in there was out. Like how many more times do you gotta pull me over to figure out like I'm not doing nothing, bro? I live here, I'm just here, I'm trying to make a living, I'm just trying to provide. The worst part was when my daughter was crying. Cause you know, I'd never seen her like that. And I think it caught everybody off guard. You know what I mean? Even her. You know, I'm handcuffed, so I couldn't like go out there, hug her, grab her, whatever, you know what I mean? So it was, I felt like I couldn't do nothing.
Thank you.
I'm worried for our students. I'm feeling raw and exhausted, and I don't know why this keeps happening. I've never lost students like this. It's just insane. We just got the news that our Steven had a heart attack and died.
Steve, right off the bat, he's all just big and jolly, and I'm the same way, like laughing.
He was the first, again, to provide housing, care, support, love.
Steven was the type of person that was always wanted to inspire everybody. And so I was like, okay, I got to continue to do that somehow.
He was amazing. He encapsulated everything beautiful about our transitions program and the spirit of our students.
In our transitions check-in, we've had several conversations about how transitions isn't going to be the same. He was an immense glue. He was like Gorilla Glue, you know? Steven called my husband that day,
And I was on the phone with our good friend, Stevens, and my friend Luis. And I texted him back, when I got off the phone, and I said, "You good?" And he said, "Good as cookie butter." And then I got the call that evening. You guys meant so much to him, and I had so many conversations on a back patio about the meaning of family and how important it was that he changed, not just for him, but for you guys too. I told him one day that I was proud of him, and I had this beautiful man cry on my patio and tell me how much it meant to hear that someone was proud of him, because that's all he wanted. He didn't want to make people proud. He wanted people to understand that our histories do not define us. They are things that help create us. They give us character. I don't think his job here is done. His job here continues on with us every moment of the day. We just get a different view.
So how have things been going for you here since you moved to UCLA?
Academically, they've been good. Emotionally and like in terms of my recovery, like it's kind of been all over the place. Right now I'm just like feeling guilty because I had made plans with Christy and Bree, and I ended up, finding some dope. Somebody had some, and I went to Vista, and when I pulled up there, like I was just like telling myself, like, what am I doing here? Like, am I really gonna this up? Oh, it's Christy calling. You want to answer?
You could go ahead.
Okay.
Hello?
Christy.
Hey, you called?
Yes. The guilt is barely starting to hit that that I left and I didn't tell you guys anything.
None of us were okay with that.
I know, I was just like, I didn't even know how to say sorry, to be honest.
Well, I'm glad that you're being accountable. So did you succeed on your mission?
I ended up going back to my mom's house, and then I ended up drinking all night.
So you did relapse. You just didn't score dope. So let's be honest about that. Like, those are the same thing.
Yeah, I know. So, I was just calling to apologize. Like, I'm telling you, I didn't even know how to go about it, to be honest.
We're all going through it, Luis. Losing Steven is hard on all of us. If being at my house was a trigger because Steven was here and you were thinking about, all of us playing card games and stuff, that's what you should have said. I'm having a hard time. I'm being triggered right now. And we could have talked through it.
I'm just fucking frustrated because, like, I just don't know how to explain it. Like, if I knew what was wrong with me right now, like, I would tell you.
I just know that.
I just want you to know that, like, and I'm gonna call Bree too, but like, it wasn't nothing personal,
I know.
at all. Like, I would.
I know that it wasn't anything personal, Luis.
Like, I would never, ever, like, do anything to, like, hurt you guys or, like,
You're gonna have your good days and you're gonna have your bad weeks. You're gonna have those good minutes and those shitty hours. And we all get that. When we say reach out, it's because we've been there. It's because we understand it. And we don't want you to be alone. I'm glad you called.
Thank you, Christy.
Like I said,
I love you too.
once I tell you you're family, bro, you can't get rid of me.
Like a bad case of herpes.
I want to be at a table where it's like my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, everybody, and just say like, because before, what was it? Either my brother was busted or I was busted, and then parents were divorced.
Yeah, I had like one birthday that
Yes.
I remember is my quinceañera.
Yeah.
That was probably like one of the only birthdays where I had both my brothers there to celebrate with me, and that was like right after.
Yeah, right after, and then it was like very rarely you could catch like all of us all together, and then now that we're out here and now that we have the opportunity to do that, I'm trying to do that. Mama Christy, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Our expectation of him like coming out was just, in my eyes, was like, okay, we'll do your 6 months and come to Vegas, like be with my mom, you know? And then out of nowhere, he's just like, yeah, I'm speaking and I'm going back to school and I don't think I'm gonna come back to Vegas. I don't think I'm going to Vegas. Like we had like a plan set, you know?
Yeah, they had a plan set.
And I'm like, Mom, you know what? Like this is good. You know, like he still feels he needs like to do more. And I'm happy for him. I feel like he's
I'm super
like,
proud of him.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank y'all for making it. You know, every one of you right here has been in my life in all different ways. You know, I would like to thank and give recognition to Dr. Nora and Sina, because these are two powerful women right here as well. It's not just about me today. Like my Aunt Mary Lou, my sister Lindsay. You know, a lot of you guys been there through the beginning. You know what I mean? And you supported me through it all. And, you know, that's basically my goal is to give back to the world, give back to society and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Because for so long I took from it, you know what I mean? And I'm just trying to, like, basically man up to my depths, you know what I mean? And so on, and trying to be a better man, everything. So, yeah, I thank y'all, and it's a privilege, it's an honor, and just have a good time.
He's done a complete turnaround. Some kid stuff back then, and now he's just a grown man that actually cares about people and his future, and an amazing difference. Dr. Nora is the most amazing lady I can even think of to step into his life, because she set him on that path. I believe that, you know, but he had it in him to be able to complete that path. I'm very proud of him, very proud of him.
We, as a student org, are currently working on introducing a bill to the legislation requesting an ongoing funding for $4 million for underground scholars for all the UCs. Hi, my name is Luis Jimenez. I'm a formerly incarcerated student, also a student at UCLA on behalf of Underground Scholars Student Initiative. And I urge you to support the ongoing $4 million budget for underground scholars. Thank you.
We really want to make changes. We can be in a lot of sectors of life that people be like, uh-oh, there's danger coming, you know, because we understand what's happening in society. Join the school board, join city council. Formerly incarcerated people can be politicians.
He has just overcome challenge after challenge, and it's amazing to watch him grow. I see Martine handing off that torch to Luis, and Luis just taking it as far as he can.
Had it not been for the Transitions Collective, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys. I'd probably be out there on the streets, man. For a lot of us, you know, the educational path that we have taken, like, it means the world to us, right? Man, I urge people to support this definitely. It's not about the money, but about saving lives.
What's really important for people to know about formerly incarcerated individuals is that they're just human beings who have had a hard time.
If we want them to stay home, we want them to be, quote unquote, good citizens, right? We need to help them and provide for them.
Like without education, I wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? If my whole, financially, mentally, physically, everything would have been all tore up. You know what I mean?
Think about who you're voting for. What's their position on criminal justice stuff?
Rather than trying to fix the problem, right? Why not just focus on preventing the problem, right? And actually meditating on how we got there in the first place.
Maybe you're an employer. Hire some people with a criminal record.
I think finally there's a sea change that California is representing, and I think is really leading the way in being less punitive and being more mindful of who the person is as a whole and how to support them with resources like counseling and addiction treatment and transitional housing and funding.
I think that expanding programs will actually lower violence, lower crime rates. If I could have it my way, I would see a program at absolutely every single community college.
So find those organizations and figure out how you can pitch in to support, whether that's financial, it could be volunteering, it could be just understanding, trying to get your head around the problem in a deeper way.
When they have the housing, when they have the basic needs met, and they're just allowed to focus on school, they really kick.
They're not just criminals. They're fathers, brothers, sisters, mothers, uncles, aunts, cousins, friends, and community members. They are neighbors, they are family. 1 in 2 Americans has a loved one who's been to jail or prison. They're our family.
Unfortunately, I'm here to share a horrible update. Luis really still struggled with mental health and substance abuse. And last December, on the 13th, he just decided to end his life. He had just turned 33. He completed his degrees at UCLA, but he still just really struggled. His family and community are crushed. We're gonna feel this loss forever. Supporting his formerly incarcerated brothers and sisters was his passion. That's what kept him going. So we hope to honor his legacy, further that movement of liberation through education. Rest in peace, Luis. We'll remember and love you always.
Hey everyone! Thank you for coming to celebrate our graduates. We've got 8 graduates this year.
Hey.
Yes? Yeah, woo, 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 woo. 8 graduates this year. That's awesome. So that's 8 people who earned their associates and are gonna be transferring soon.
I'm Aaron, and I'm a graduate.
But I mean, I guarantee you, if Rising Scholars wasn't here for me, Dr. Nor wasn't here for me, I wouldn't have done it. I would have quit. Thank you guys so much. And like, this stuff, it's not easy, right? But it happens and it works. So thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. So speaking of graduates, we have another graduate in the room, Bree. Woo! And Bree, you have been instrumental in this program.
Right? I was just absolutely. Oh my gosh. She would come in and help everybody with their homework, help everybody. She'd be trying to do her stuff, and then I'm like, dang, Bree, you sleep. And then, you know, like you could still call her, and then she learned how to put boundaries.
Well, Bree definitely has like the Louise Stevens spirit.
I have a lot to owe to Louise and Stephen for me.
You didn't find the kind of love and atmosphere like this out in my hood or out in not even my family, the support system that I found here. Anything worthwhile having takes effort to attain, you know? So my education was worth the effort, because today I came out to film as wanting to be a drug and alcohol counselor. Today I am a drug and alcohol counselor.
All right, come on now.
I'm just glad to just get through the semester and just keep going no matter what. Like I had to take a hit last semester because of what happened to Louise, you know, and I couldn't recover from that with my schoolwork. And just, you know what, if I have to take a hit, I have to take a hit, and I can always come back and correct that. So to me, it's just you know, be kind to yourself. And yes, set the bar high. There's nothing wrong with that, but also just know that we're not machines, and take care of you first. Yeah. If you're not okay, you're not going to be able to make it through school.
Yeah, thank you.
I can't tell you how much I'm so proud of every single one of you. Like, just being here. Live each moment with intention. Know that you are already winning because you are breathing and because you're alive.
And you're out of prison and jail.
That's it. That's it.
And you're out of your addiction. This is the living happily ever after part. Right? Thank you, Dr. Sadat Hadi.
I kid you not. The greatest education all of you have right now is not gonna come out of these books. It's gonna come out of your own personal experience. It's gonna give you what it takes to thrive in this place. You all have what it takes to be here. You belong here like everybody else. And I can guarantee you they don't care about age in here. I don't care about gender. I don't care about sexual orientation. This classroom is probably more powerful than any other classroom happening. Because we have a lived experience in this class, whether it be the SHU program, little juvenile hall, little county jail time, you know, smoke a little weed, did some heroin. No matter where you're at on this line, this education belongs to you. This education belongs to you.